Hey guys, welcome to the Friday night live stream. Um, yeah, I'll do a few hellos. Let me know if you can hear me and if the audio is good, and we'll take it from there. So, hello to Minecraft Transformers, to Alan Animations, Fanboy MT, MT's Tech Corner. Hello Matthew. Hello Justin. Tegan's here. Hello Marin. Okay, so we're going to continue with the illustration of Ditto from Ben 10 as a female anime kind of like superhero heroine. Uh, the last stage we got to was basically the flats created and some of the color gradients added. So we're going to work on the lighting and the shadows this time. And once that's done, I'm going to basically clone the final version of this character and kind of do a glitchy effect, like a holographic effect, which I think will be quite cool. Um, for it. So we're just going to basically crack on with this. And then if you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I will look up every now and again and answer them where I can do. And then, yeah. Oh, also hello to Noxie and Landon. But let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to start like I kind of do with my normal videos with the in my process with the head. So I've got a soft light layer because it kind of works really nicely for picking up the gradient underneath that we've got on this hard light layer, which I've dropped the opacity down a bit. And this just kind of gives a nice little texture to it. I need to drop that down just a tiny bit more. And then I've added an overlay layer just to make sure we've got a few bits still highlighted. I tend to go with a darker bluish color for this, for the shadows. And I've got two layers. So I've got two soft light layers so that I can make darker shadows when I go over them. The first one's going to be kind of like a solid color layer with the masking tool, which I'll show you now. And it's set to color fill. So pick the direction of the light source and then we just start basically drawing this in. Um, After that, we kind of use a soft airbrush to darken a few areas and create like a bit of smooth gradient once we've finished what we're working on in this area. And then we just do the same, but with kind of like the soft brush on an overlay layer and an additive or glow layer. Something different has happened to me. Essentially. Oh, autocorrect. Okay, fair enough. Animations. Wait, Dempsey, you're also doing a variety episode. Me too. I am doing a couple of variety episodes coming up. There is potential for a Promised Neverland one joining in on a anime episode in the future. I have watched some of the series. Haven't watched all of it yet, but I am enjoying what I have watched so far. I kind of went back and started it again, to be honest, and I'm looking to see what I can do with that and some other series to create an interesting video. But before that, we do have the Dinobots Venomized coming next Friday. Potentially, there is a live stream next Monday. Dinobots Venomized is planned for next Friday, and then after that, it should be back to. I'm not sure if it's going to be a live stream or it's going to be the Sea Creature Switcheroo on the Monday. Haven't got that yet because I need to get the narrators back in their bodies, which would be quite cool. Oh, cool, Justin. And what shiny starters did you get? Oh, no worries, Marin. I was looking at how to say your surname. Uh, is it Marin? Marin? I apologize if I say it wrong. I kind of read things how they are um, spelt. Uh, if there's a phonetic way of saying it, feel free to put it in the chat, and I'll attempt to remember that. But it's not a problem at all. It's one of the curses of the internet. Sometimes names are a little bit difficult to pronounce. It's not as bad as the name that I had on one of the submissions for the SCP Community Redraw. It literally was such a random name. I couldn't pronounce it even if I tried. Oh, cool. That's cool, Justin. Getting all of the starters as shinies. So for this one, because the hair's kind of kind of like reflective in a way, I kind of want to just have some areas darker, but some still light. But you kind of want to bring in a couple of these shadowy bits a bit more as you do. Um, Even in some of the lighter areas, it just adds a bit more depth to the piece, as well as I think it kind of looks cool and a bit stylish in some areas. But obviously, this is like the darkest of the shadows, so they're not going to be everywhere in the hair, but they are going to be on a few bits to kind of emphasize the darker areas. And you want to try and follow the shape of the head. So it's going to sound really daft, but um, on your head, if you imagine a starting point, say the center of the head, you want to do arrows in your mind pointing all the way down the shape of the head in a 3D kind of like rotation, and that'll help you place the hair really well. Justin says, I thought I was going to go back on a villain arc when I was hatching eggs for practicing. I almost discovered a new art style similar to Pokemon, but not at the same time. Oh, that's quite cool. Be interesting to see what that style looks like, Justin. Yeah, and then I'm getting near the end of the month, so we're getting to the community redraw time as well. Oh, I said it correctly. Awesome. Yes, Galahan19, I am feeling much better now. So thank you for asking about that. Yeah, I just didn't feel 100% on Monday, and there's no point trying to do or a stream when you're not feeling 100%. It's not going to be any good for you guys. I'm not going to be at my best doing any drawing or illustrations or talking, and it's just going to be not going to be an enjoyable time for everybody. Even though, I could have probably done a stream. It's better to rest up and then come back to it. Kind of at the point where I'll drop the content out where I can at the moment. I'm trying to improve the quality of the content as well as get the schedule going regularly. But to do that, I need to kind of balance things sometimes with work, life, and everything else. Um, hey Tony, how's it going? Uh, Animations, two things I have to say. One, smash. Yes, I've noticed you've said that a few times in chat. Two, you've gotten really good on anatomy in the past month compared to the older videos. Yeah, it does. References do help. Also, it's a case of I've started as you may have seen from the community post, I've started looking at 3D modeling using Nomad Sculpt on the iPad, which is quite cool. And that's got me into looking at the 3D shapes and the kind of like the perspective a bit more. That also really helps when you deal with anatomy and stuff like that, because just to recap, to break it down into the basic shapes, it does help that sometimes I've been spending a bit more time on the illustration. Unfortunately, one or two in the last couple months, I've not been able to put the full amount of time I'd like to on it, and it doesn't look quite right at the end. And some of the other ones, they do look really nice with the anatomy, but I am trying to improve those areas. So hands is going to be the next one, um, feet and general proportions, but I also want to do more dynamic poses. Justin says, I summon eating overreactor right behind you, Dempsey, and awesome. Time Wizard in defense mode. Sacrifice them both in special summon. Ring Dragon of the Winged Dragon of Ra right behind you and obliterate your LP. Uh, Thanks for that. I play I play Hello Life Barrier, discarding Sinister Serpent from my hand, turning all damage I receive this turn to 0. It's not targeting your god cards, so therefore your god cards still affected by the trap card because of the simple fact that it affects my life points and my damage I get, not your attack. Is she Asian? I don't know. I kind of went for an anime style, and she kind of could be. I just thought Ditto's eyes for the actual character, because they're kind of like green shapes that come round and down. I haven't actually got a reference image, which I should probably have had on the screen. Um, the glasses look quite nice, but I think it just came together as this is the kind of pose and style from the reference bit, and she could be. There's no reason why she couldn't, to be honest. Um, there's no kind of we haven't defined the lore or the information behind the scenes on this as such yet. So when it comes to this, the only thing we've got is uh, probably a female version of Ben 10, and they've got an Omnitrix. They either turn into these heroine versions or they summon these versions, is where I was going. So they kind of disappear into a different plane and summon these other versions that they talk to. Um, and they kind of like do the superhero helping stuff, but some of them aren't always helpful. Uh, we're kind of thinking about turning it into a series, but we haven't got that far yet. Galahad19 says, "Hey, about the community redraw, you said we could submit designs of narrators that haven't drawn yet, like the steampunk guy. Could we also submit some backstory lore, or would they become recurring?" The backstory lore you can submit. It depends on the lore and where the character goes to, if it's integrated. Um, but by all means, feel free to submit the any backstory lore you think of on that, and I'll read it. And in terms of the reoccurring, if they are chosen for a redesign or a design of the character and it's drawn, that's going to be the narrative look, basically the narrative going forwards. Um, ones that are alternate versions obviously may be coming back in the future. However, any one that hasn't been drawn yet has the potential to be the actual design for the character once it's done, which should be quite cool. Hey Ben, how's it going? Deadpool's about to attack you. No, he's chilling in the corner down there. Have you seen Across the Spider-Verse yet? I haven't yet. And in terms of the theories, I could probably go into tons of theories for another sequel next year. However, that depends if a sequel actually gets made at the moment. There's a lot of what's the best way to put it? There's a lot going on over there and in the UK on terms of pay stuff at the moment, and that's kind of affecting work being done on sequels and stuff. I know it's normal actors, but you got the voice actors for it. So even if they do the animation and stuff, you've got the actors working at some point. But it would be quite interesting to see what they do. Now, I think they might bring Venom into it in a future episode, but there also the talk about the Miles, maybe the actual Spider Wars, the Spider-Verse wars with the totems could actually be coming into play. That would be more interesting. That'd be really cool, actually, if they did that. I would be up for watching that. They could make so many. They could probably make 3 or 4 movies out of that alone. Should be quite good. Justin says, "I'm working on a Spider-Punk Ben 10 OC. Would you like to know the backstory?" You could drop it in there if you want, or fire the backstory onto the Discord at some point, Justin. Would be quite interesting. I will read it when I get a chance to, though. Basically, because I want to kind of finish this illustration tonight, which would be quite good, and set things up. I need to do all the story and lore for the Dinobots Venomized video. Unfortunately, I did foolishly lost. I accidentally deleted the saved video without it being backed up to free up space, so I have to now redraw the free illustrations, which is a lesson learned, a hard lesson learned, but a lesson learned, which is good and bad at the same time. Ben says good. Also Dempsey. Is that William Anderson behind you? Hope not. Galahad19 says, Hey, Popcross has brought back an old favorite, SCPs of superheroes. Don't you? Will you bring back any old favorites too? I did bring back Pokemon Venomized. I've started Digimon Mech Armors. I'm bringing back the Multiverse Story arc, so I'm already on the trail for that. I will be bringing back maybe SCPs as supervillains at some point, but that will probably tie into the story later on down the line once we've established the narrator. And also we've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters as SCPs who are coming in with the. I think Conor O'Farley is going to become the new SCP narrator, the Irish one that we designed. Not 100% sold on that yet. Depends on how well another episode or two go. But if it does, then they'll probably be taking over a lot of the SCP stuff and making that all in the same universe, which would be really cool. For those of you who don't know, I've got a load of things on the channel where I take different concepts similar to Popcross Studios and I create some lore for it, like my own universe with things that happen. And the last Community Redraw, I attempted an Irish accent, which was quite fun. And in doing so, I probably created my SCP narrator, which I've been kind of toying around with for a while. I had one before, so I might have two narrators for it. Which would be quite cool. Hey, Red Knight, how's it going? Long time no speak to. Uh, all you've missed is me basically doing this kind of more in-depth rendering or shading on here. Also next week, guys, there will be probably the end of next week, the weekend or the week after. There are going to be some shorts dropping. I am getting to doing some more shorts. I want to try and make the most out of the artwork and promote some stuff and do some fun stuff with those. I got an event I'm going to next week, so that's going to be absolutely fun and awesome. And when that happens, I will be recording some bits and hopefully turn it into a short or a video, or maybe both, which would be quite cool. Uh, Ben says it would be funny if you made a story with the demonic Ben 10, Kaiju Ben 10, and the Heroine Ben 10. I could probably do a crossover and put them in their own universe at some point. That would be interesting. Um, Animations. Are you going to do another narrator video, like making our submissions a can narrator, kind of like here? Potentially there will be another narrator video at some point, uh, which will take designs from people. I mean, technically this redraw is another narrator video for you guys, for this month. If any of you don't know, the redraw is you can take one of the four or five narrators, sorry, the five narrators we've established in drawings from the link at the on the comments of the last video, which is SCP Maximum Venom, which is the last community redraw. Submit that by Friday next week, I believe it is, and via Discord, add a bit of lore, give the name of the alternate character, draw it, send it in, and it may get redrawn, just in case you're new to the channel and you didn't know what we're on about. Oh, I do like that, Marin. Mythologies of SCPs would be quite an interesting one to do. I have been trying to think of something to do with Greek mythologies or mythological gods and how to put my own twist on it. I might have an idea of doing a few things with that together, which would be quite cool. Uh, Justin says she comes from a universe that is similar to Spider-Punk. The Omnitrix fell as normal, but he said the watch part of it broke, so that energy got absorbed into her guitar. Oh, that's quite cool. Midnight says, My Hero Academia is Digimon or Pokemon. That would be an interesting one. I'd probably go with Digimon. Pokemon's been used by a lot of people, but if I turn them into Digimon, I could make them more humanoid. A bit more kaiju human monster-ish in that regard. I have noticed I've got different styles depending on what I'm drawing. I need to get back to one style for, well, I kind of like the fact I can swap styles, but I kind of need to get back to a single style for a few things. I mean, it's like this is quite nice, and this is like the color blended in. I think this is probably a similar style to where my artwork's leaning at the moment, which is basically working in the color more into the design. And when I get to spend more time like this on a live stream, because sometimes I can't on the videos, it comes out really nicely, which is quite cool. Galaha 19, hey, have you read Dragon Queen? It's like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. No, I think you've mentioned it before, but I haven't. Although I have seen on Netflix Nimona, which has given me a few good ideas for like a shape-shifting style of story. I like that idea. It's quite cool. If you haven't seen it, I recommend seeing it. It's only a couple episodes long, but it's absolutely amazing in my opinion. Um, yeah, definitely one to check out. I like the fact that hair can pick up like different light sources from areas, which works out really nicely on this. What have I missed? Hey, America, welcome to the stream. I'm good. How are you doing? Did you manage to figure out email or something for the submission that you wanted to do? If not, there is another alternative that we could possibly do. Um, I may open up another way of submitting for the community redraws, just for people who have this issue. It does mean more work on my part, but it may be worth it. Well, say it may be worth it. It's definitely gonna be worth it. It's just sorting it out to be working for everyone. Right, so I do that. And then I want to come off this a little bit and just blend a bit more. Okay, that's cool. I think that's looking quite cool at the moment, actually. I'm quite enjoying how this is turning out, the colors. I think all that work we spent last stream on this, where we kind of added the purples and the colors into the. I'm not going with just dark versions of the color. I'm kind of shifting it um, more towards the color variant end of the spectrum, as well as adding a bit of a color to it on the shadows and highlights to make it look like different lights are coming in to just bring the character to life more, which is turned out really nicely in some of these illustrations. Um, uh, oh, I've missed a bit. Um, right. Hello, 19. Who don't see this design is pretty good. Which alien will you use for the next one? Sure. I will do the spinning wheel again. Basically, that spinning wheel I've done, I will add all the other ones that I've got. I kind of going to give you guys a little bit of a preview now. I kind of have a couple lined up here as potential ones, but I'm going to do the spinning of the original ones that I put in there. But the original spinning one, I did a whole list of them. I'm going to basically drop in the names of them all again. Random selector at the start. I think that's the fairest way, and there will also be a Kevin 11 version going in there after probably the next one. I'll add it into it on like the third spin of it, which would be quite cool. Um, but yeah, next week is your last day at college. Nice, Red Knight. I don't get that luxury. Working full time, you don't get that. Uh, Ben, yes, I do need to get the narrators out of it, which is the video coming along potentially after the Venomized Dinobot one next week. I'm still working on all of that, but it's fine. I can get all of them. I can get one of them. I can have a crazy adventure with an alternate version of them. I've got ways around this. I've got story ideas lined up. Whether they work or not is a different matter, but there will be also getting them out of that sea creature switcheroo, which is going to be a good one because that dimension back in their bodies, I need to finish off Nexum and Dino Dinosaur's little battle, which is crucial for the narrators to um, progress further and then reintroduce some Loki stuff. It's quite cool. Um, have you received your submission for redraw? I have. Your steampunk narrator looks pretty cool. Um, obviously I haven't selected any at present. With this one, I've kind of gone with the. I'm not selecting them to start with. I've been planning other bits out and trying to catch up with some of the artwork where I've been a bit ill this week. That's put me back a bit. So I am hoping to catch up with a lot of that and then make everything kind of tie nicely. But it's quite cool. I do like some aspects of your design. I really like. The backstory wasn't too bad either. I might tweak it slightly if that's okay, if it does get selected, to fit it more into the universe. But it's not a bad idea. I do like the design. But as I say, I haven't selected any yet. I'm doing that probably next weekend. The submissions close. Because I've got this event I'm going to middle of the week, it's I don't want to get too involved into the story straight away and then have to stop it and then start it again. I'll lose the momentum. Rewrite of King Possible, if that's placed Stone Age in it. Could be interesting. America, you've got an idea. Put the idea in the chat. Uh, Benton Heroine's Heat Blast skill being of a fiery hair and skin condition. Spider Monkey is Spider-Man inspired. And way up, Chuck, but you'll have to do the twins. Interesting. Random question. If you're an artist with Pokemon trainers, what would the Pokemon signature Pokemon be? Um, Interesting. I think uh I'm going to go just literally with ones that we know already. So Nexum, because he can travel dimensions, um, I think he will probably be. Is it Palkia? Which one's the one that does space? Palkia or Dialga? It'll be one of those two. Um, Demonica will probably be Garatina because I think that's good, or Darkrai. It'll be one of those two. Ehrenfold would be a dragon type Pokemon, and I think he'd want quite a beast of a dragon. So I'm not 100% sure which one that will be yet. Do you know Dynaclaw? I think Tyranitar would be their one, to be honest. And Hero the Beast Tamer would be happy with any of them. You'd probably end up with a legendary one, probably Zeraora or something, one that he can get the respect from and all that lot, which would be quite cool. Marin, she is Ditto from Ben 10. If you search it, you'll kind of see where I've taken some of the inspiration from the design on this one. Things as soon as you make them humanoid, I put a few bits in there, but the setting is also going to be they are kind of in like school, like a My Hero Academia scenario. So they are learning to use their powers and abilities, which means that the lovely benefit we've got of that is we can have the costumes and stuff evolve over time, which would be really cool. Right, let's add some more of this before I get too carried away doing those other bits. Um, I mean, first, I don't have a whole idea of them bar the original 10, which I was planning to do. So anything that we do on this, that's like Ditto or way big or something, is actually new turf for me. It's quite interesting, quite fun. Justin, I sent you a sketch of what I got so far on Spider Thanks by Ben Tennessee. Cool. I think I saw that come through a little while ago. I will check that afterwards on the Discord, Justin. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that was you that sent a message to me, which is quite cool. I do like being able to chat to you guys on that. Also, if people of you, let me restart that. I messed that up completely. If you want to join the Discord and you are able to, there's a link in the description of almost every video, probably in this stream, and in on the channel banner there's a link. It will get you into Discord. It's a great group of people. I'm trying to do more of it. I do apologize that the events kind of dropped down a little bit in the last month. I do have to select the uh, Kaiju Jaeger winner. I know I'm behind on that one, so I do apologize to anybody who submitted on that currently. But yeah, but you can share your art, feedback. You can get if you become a member of the channel, you get access to the members section, which gives you links to all the artwork that we're doing on the channel. Other than the community redraw ones, I don't put the community redraw artwork that's being chosen on the Google Drive because that's unique for each winning submission. So each person who wins and their submission selected, they get that artwork sent to them directly. Uh, but all the other artworks on there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Venomize, I think there's a few that I haven't got on there. I'll have to sort somewhere. But the vast majority of the artwork we've done on the channel is on there, which is absolutely cool and fun. All the narrators are on there. The really, really high res version of the Monaco I was working on is on there as well. So yeah, it's just working through it basically, and I think it works out to be something like is it four? We've got two, Destroyer Pro and Destroyer, or a drawer or something. We've got two membership choices. One's 2.99 a month, and one is 4.99 a month. And you can get all these lovely emojis that Minecraft Transformers was putting in the chat earlier, which is quite cool. Um, Red Knight asks, do I have an idea for the redraws that aren't picked yet? Yeah, I got an idea for a couple of the next redraws, but I haven't decided which one's going to be next month's theme. Um, I know Red Knight, you kind of wait until the redraws match your character, but it may be worth, if you want your OCs to be in there, of just thinking, is there a way you can actually adapt your OC to be an alternate version for a redraw? Um, I mean, like for this one, there's probably no reason why you couldn't do a submission of your OC being fused with Nexum, for example, or Ehrenfold or someone, and it's an alternate version where there was a mishap and they got joined, Dr. Virus got joined with them, and you've got this new character that's the combination of the two. Um, just throwing ideas out there to save you waiting so long between the redraws that you can enter because I kind of I'm going through a rotation of them. So some will be Venomized, some will be FPs, creating dragons, creating dinosaurs, or something, or creating characters from your submissions. I do want to do one where I take monstrous stuff and make them really cute. I'll take really cute stuff and make them really monstrous at some point this year. Um, but I'm just throwing it out there for you to possibly go by if you wish. I'm not saying to. It's entirely up to you what you feel comfortable submitting to. I'm just throwing it out there for people. Sometimes it might help to jump out of it a little bit if you've got time to. Because I found recently jumping out of my own comfort zone has really helped a lot. But I do like your original characters that you've got, Red Knight, I have to say. I just got to figure out a way of getting them back in to a redraw that makes sense for them, but it's not planned. To be fair to everybody, if that makes sense. I've just waffled on a bit, so yeah. Uh, how about this one idea? SCPs as anime hero girls. That might be interesting. A hard to kill reptile would be a really interesting one. Um, yeah. So if you have seen the process, what I've been doing on this, just to check, just to let you know. So just to recap for anybody who's new here or just joining, I've got four layers for my entire lighting on top of like a base lighting and a bit of texture and what you call probably the basic ambient lighting in the area. I've got a solid layer of shadows on the soft layer. I've got a kind of like a faded version that gives us a bit of a gradient bit to just make it a bit darker on another soft light layer. I've got an overlay layer which I can then control to make the skin a bit brighter when I want to, and I've got an add layer which I can then add to make more of a reflective material on some bits. I'll probably jump back into a few bits, but I'm trying to keep this quite cartoonish anime in a way, but at the same time a bit more detailed and rendered out. And I probably find that each time I do one of these, the artwork either stays the same level or it gets a bit more detailed as we go along, just because of how it's working at the moment, which is quite cool. Um, uh, Justin says, "Oh, I've gone past. Wow, I've missed a bit of chat. Hang on. Okay, so I can't wait until you do my favorite Benton Alien. Justin, which one is that? Remind me again." just so that we've got that one in there. I'm sure you've said plenty of times which one's your favorite, but please remind me again just to make sure that I know. I'll make a note to remember it if I can do in future on that one. Um, I think my favorite, I don't really know my favorite Ben 10 alien. I do like Big Chill. That was quite a cool one. Uh, yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out which one's my favorite, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure. Is it updated? Updated is my favorite one. Oh, I think you mean upgrade. Okay. My idea is that any gods of any mythology as Yu-Gi-Oh version. Oh, that could be interesting. Turning stuff into Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. Not a bad idea, America. That'll be added to the list. Definitely. Idea, when you've done like 5 Ben 10 drawings like these, make a community redraw, and we send out our own Ben 10 aliens and you draw them as superheroes. I actually want to get you guys submitting some original stuff for me to do, so that's not a bad idea. I quite like that. I quite like that. So I will definitely bear that one in mind. And you've given me an idea for another redraw that I didn't exactly I had the concept, but I didn't have it fleshed out, so that's not a bad idea. How many community redraws do I have planned out at the moment? In my head, about 20. In reality of what's coming up next, about possibility of 2 or 3 to select from for the August redraw. October is obviously going to be a particular theme because of Halloween. Christmas, November will probably be September could be the Halloween one, and November might be the Christmas one. Bring it forward a month to make it drop on the actual in time for them. But we'll see. Be interesting to see what happens on that one. But yeah, but I've got several planned out. I just haven't decided what one I'm going to do next. I'm trying to figure out ones that which are quite cool. I'm also trying to think of ones that are unique and new, so I don't overlap because sometimes, as much as I do like the fact that at times myself and Popcross have overlapping community redraws, it would be nice to just have something really, really new or that's not been done by either of us yet. It's the best way to put it. That said, the concept of this video for tonight, Disney Princess and Mortal Kombat characters, is absolutely amazing. And I will check that out at some point. So if you've seen it, no spoilers, because I haven't seen it yet. Where are we at? Do you know for the longest time or Spider-Punk was white British instead of black British? Really? Cool. Yeah. I would say, animations, if you do use it, do a shout out that the idea came from Marin. Just, just do a little shout out or something, or give credit where credit's due. It's the kind of thing I'd do on it. But yeah, if they said go and do it, then yeah, go for it. 5 weeks till Blue Beetle. Ah, Justin, I know. I want to watch that. I haven't decided if I'm going to watch that in the cinema when it comes out, if I've got going to wait a little bit, but I definitely want to see that. Okay, let's sort this arm out because that one can have a bit more light there. This can come into the side bit here and then kind of just. It's kind of tricky to figure out where all of these bits go. So it sometimes helps when you're doing them to just section out a whole area where you know should potentially be the darkest bit and then add them. And then you can add the extra bits as you do it. And another thing is also think about the level of detail you use in your illustration. So despite the fact that this is quite detailed, I want to draw the focus to the hair and the face. So that's going to be slightly lighter than the rest. And that's also got the more detail and the contrasting colors at the top. Even though we have contrasting colors and you're drawn to other aspects, you still get drawn to the faces on the character as well. And hopefully it'll I didn't think too much about composition on this, but hopefully the character reads so you kind of follow the flow of the body, which would be quite cool. But yeah, I didn't really think about the composition on the pose of this to how it all reads. I just kind of liked the pose that I found as a reference. I kind of wanted something that was dynamic, and yeah, I did. But I actually fill that in. I just didn't see that do what it should be doing. Oh, it did. Okay, that's cool. Just for a second there, I just thought it didn't really work. Um, Imagine that a humongous heroine would be a bit complicated because wouldn't she need to wear clothes but also be able to grow with plates? I could probably make the plates into a form of armor that grows with her, to be honest. But you could also have the clothes being like the Fantastic Four, where Reed Richards one just expands indefinitely based on, yeah. So it could be one of those ones, or it could be a weird anime thing where it's just they just do it, it just works. Uh, Maybe Venomize your OC. Possibly. We did do a Venomize one last month with the SCP, so it probably will be a little while before we Venomize them. There's no reason why you can't do an alternate version that's Venomized for the community redraw happening this month. The only thing I got for the community redraw is a demonic dino claw. Nice. We've had a Dino Steel Claw that's been submitted. That was quite a cool concept. I quite liked that. So I took Dinoclaw and kind of made him into like this AI robot, which I thought was amazing. Uh, we've got a twist of Hero. So Hero is no longer a beast tamer. They've been changed to a different profession. I'm not going to spoil it. I just thought, some of these design ideas are quite good. And if I mention a couple, people might get some ideas. Um, but yeah, there's some really, really nice ideas that have come through. uh, for it, as well as a submission like by Galahad 19 of the steampunk narrator, which is quite cool because we haven't actually got a design for that, and I am being a bit technically I'm being a little bit lazy by you guys designing the character, but also it's getting you guys involved in it included. So if the design I like the design and it does get picked, it'll be a reoccurring design on the channel in those videos. That'll be the narrator going forwards until something happens. Uh, Yeah, that's not a bad idea as well, Justin. Maybe we could have a mixture of it all. Call it Omni Academy because of the Omnitrix. Yeah, that sounds quite cool actually. Uh, Hang on, where are we? Let's jump down a little bit to catch up. I wonder if Loki is made to make his own team in the future. Maybe he makes a team of his OC. Oh, he's already made a team out of the OCs, but maybe we'll do something slightly different or slightly creative with them. Uh, if they're not brought back, maybe a variant version of them gets brought back or something, just to make it all kind of tie in nicely. Should be quite cool. Right, let's get to this bit here to figure this out. I could turn D&D monsters into heroes monsters. I do need to do something with D&D. I've been wanting to jump back on D&D in a while. It's been a while since I've done anything with that. Galahad 19, do you remember my suggestion of Atlantis Community Redraw? I think it could tie into Secret Just Switcheroo and that jungle story too. Possibly. I do have something planned in for the Sea Creature Switcheroo, and I do know people want to see or see the continuation of that tribe thing for the jungle redraw. So that could be a potential another redraw to continue that story because everybody really got into that. I got into that. I actually haven't decided the next bit for that, but yeah, that I got into that story by the end of it, so that's quite cool. Um, Marin, that's not a problem for the redraw submissions. If you, I think the easiest way to put it is, it's not all about the drawing on the redraw. It's the whole concept and idea, and then I will bring that to life, which is quite a cool one. But also, I get I get how you feel sometimes with everyone being better than you, but it's just practice at the end of the day. There are certain tips and tricks that you can do which make things look that you learn over time that make things kind of look like they're wow, and they're really simple. Once you know them, you're like, so simple. I wish I knew that before. Um, and it's just basics. I mean, the key things are just uh, shape and form are crucial. So it's kind of like the basic how I'm doing here, just making things kind of look 3D. Reference images. If you know what you want to draw but you can't draw it really well, get a reference image and draw the pose. I mean, I used a reference image for this pose, so I drew the basic structure of the shapes out first on this from a pose picture, which is basically an identical pose to what I've got here, and then I put the character's design over the top. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. Just don't completely copy an entire design and the character and everything, and change one thing and say that's my artwork, because that's a bit naughty. However, yeah, and then lighting is the crucial one. You've got form, you've got shape, and that's just fine. Color theory and lighting are the key ones. And the biggest tip for color theory is the rule of thirds. There's two tips. I'm going to do a load of shorts with tips of these, I think. Um, Two tips. The first one is rule of thirds. So at least a third of the artwork needs to be a third or more one color for a theme. So because Ben 10 is normally black in like a black t-shirt, a black pattern on a white t-shirt and black green trousers, most of the aliens tend to have those colors in them some way, or at least some semblance of the t-shirt design or the colors of the t-shirt, as well as the Omnitrix. So it's working out the colors that work with that, and then it's remembering if you have a warm character, so it's more reds, yellows, and orange, do a cooler background, more blues and purples and subtle hints of that, and vice versa, and it will make it pop. Same as with the shadows. So if you've got a color like here, what I've done here is my base color's this one here, but I've added like a green glow on this side and like a purple glow on this side, and then just knocked that down a little bit. And that's allowed me to basically um, create more life into the character and stuff. And then a lighting, it's just where the light falls and shadows fall. That's what gives you details. So those are the key things. And then it's just draw each day, practice. Just pick something you, best secret, pick something you are interested in and try and draw it and take your time. If you get it wrong, start again or just continue to get as far as you can do and then put it to one side. Don't even look at that. Go back to your original reference, which is the proper way of it looking, and draw it again. Um, and eventually you will get there. I mean, I failed art or graphics rather when I was at school. So I've always been able to draw, but I failed the subject when I was in the UK at secondary school, which is what we call GCSEs. I don't know what it equates to in America or other countries, but yeah, I basically failed it. Um, I did not get a passing grade in that, but I keep drawing because I enjoy it, and then over time, artwork's progressed to what you see today. There you go. That's the inspirational story for the day. If at first you don't succeed, keep trying. But yeah, I'm not joking. I failed it. I was gutted at the time as well. In all fairness, I did not expect it to happen, but yeah, it happens. We all get setbacks, or we all get things, and go forwards from it. They're making another Willy Wonka movie. Another one. I'm old school in some of these movies. I think the stuff like the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory didn't need remake. I know they remade it with Johnny Depp, and that was really good. But the original one didn't really need remaking in terms of the story. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do now. I'm kind of scared what they're going to do now, and I hope I'm not planning to offend anybody on this one, but with the way society is now with a lot of things, I am kind of concerned with where some of these original stories are going and taking what is the essence of the story out of the story, um, with no disrespect to any attempts to uh, modernize them. If that makes sense. I would do an example, but I don't think I should do it on a live stream on my channel. It could cause a little bit of controversy. But there's a couple of shorts going around for the Little Mermaid film. I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it. I'm quite interested in what they've done, but to me, the old ones, the original ones, are kind of like set in stone for it. However, I do know that they recorded, um, someone recorded one of their kids watching it, and the kid just turned around and said, "That's not Ariel." And yeah, it was just like, I just, the kids just say it how it is. It's like, if it's not broke, why change it? Just, yeah. It's a catch-22, isn't it? People have brilliant ideas, but at the same time, people are like, they've brilliant ideas and concepts and stuff. But at the same time, it's like they do it, but sometimes it can backfire and sometimes it can work. Yeah, just 50-50 on it, on those. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Justin, is this the Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka for 2023? I will check that out later. But interesting. Uh, Galho19, I'm hearing all kinds of rumors on the Spectacular Spider-Man is coming back with a season 3. Do you think that's true or false? I've got no idea. I would I would take everything with a pinch of salt on the rumor mill. It's probably more than likely they will do that at some point in season 3, or they will bring out a new Spider-Man version of the animated series. It would be awesome if they did that one. That was one of the best series they've done. Took a while for me to get used to the artwork because I grew up on the original one, with like the Spider Slayers and Smythe and all that lot, uh, and the Man Spider and like the Web Warriors. But I've watched all of them so far, and they are pretty cool. Dr. Virus as an evil Nexum. Yeah, just admit this. Like maybe Nexum was taken over by Dr. Virus, and he's got like an outfit, and it's Nexum. It's supposed to be Nexum in one of the outfits, and just write a little bit of lore for it. It'd be quite fun. Justin says, "Look, I think I figured out two Dr. Virus weaknesses: a firewall and a VPN." Nice. Uh, How about taking cartoon submissions and we draw the most horror characters from the October community redraw, something cute and scary? I'm debating on the redraw for the October one. It's going to be, I do need to do some with folklore as well, so it could be a combination of them, which would be quite interesting. We'll have to see what happens. So I think this first bit's done for what I wanted. So this is the bit that's really interesting now. What I need to do is turn that layer off, copy the canvas because I want to copy all of this character, paste them above everything, and you won't see the difference yet. I'll put that layer back in so you can then start seeing. Now this gives me, I'm going to duplicate that and lock it. Always make a backup of it because with Procreate, as much as an amazing program, if a piece of art goes off the screen, it crops it off completely. So always make a backup of the image and turn it invisible if you're doing any positioning stuff. Um, I want this will character will go behind, but the whole concept is Ditto is going to be uh, kind of a bit of chromatic aberration to it. Will that work? This place. Oh, that might work. This is going to hurt your eyes for a second until I actually do what I'm doing next. Um, Add a layer, clipping mask. I will apologize for potentially hurting people's eyes, but I want to kind of. We want a brighter color. Cool, I like that. I want to kind of do this character, merge it down, and then I want to duplicate the layer again. Um, I kind of don't want to lose what I've got before, but I kind of want to add a glitch effect onto it. Drop size, not drop size down. The zoom in too big there. I kind of want it to be. Does that work? I kind of want this. I want to give the feeling of like a glitchy transformation. So then when we lower the opacity a bit, and then we drop this inserted image behind everything, when it selects the layer, come down behind everything, drop it in, and then we've kind of got this rather cool glitched effect, and then just duplicate it, shift it along a bit more. I probably want the bottom one, don't I? And just try and make a bit of a glitch effect, but each one of these then starts getting a bit more transparent as you go along, as if it's kind of like just creating the clones. Yeah. I know it's almost like she's moving in slow motion as you get from it, but I'm trying to do the concept of this and I'm shifting around a little bit. Hey, Koi Gaming, welcome to the stream. I'm still catching up with the chat in between this. Uh, how about yeah, redraw. I know, I can't believe we've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle version of uh the Mayhem one where they might be teenagers. That'd be quite cool. No worries, Red Knight. We'll see you when you get back. Go for Dude is hiding away after. Yeah, Justin. Go for Dude's hiding from the pizza bill. Hey Nexum has hey Nexum has is at it again. He's gone toward Pizza Hut and his slush puppy mech armor machine, giving everyone briefings. Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Have you ever been to America? I have. I've been to Florida. Um, Disney World when I was a teenager, and Blizzard Beach was absolutely amazing. My most vivid memory is the Summit Plummet, which is like a 120-foot vertical drop on a water slide. And you've got to cross your arms and legs, and you just go down, and you're down at the bottom in a matter of seconds. Yeah. So, by the way, how are you familiar with Five Nights at Freddy lore? A tiny bit. I've played a couple of the games. My eldest is way more into the lore than me, but I am going to be doing a video around Five Nights at Freddy's for when the movie drops. I can't remember when the movie's coming out, but I will also be doing. I want to do something with Five Nights at Freddy's as well. So I'll be researching the lore in more detail. Ditto is a movie that I am most excited about. Yeah, that's quite a good one. Mortal Kombat with Splatoon. That would be interesting. Uh, yeah, based on the trailers, Willy Wonka is n not the ones we've seen before. It's basically the origin story that. Oh, that would be awesome, actually, Justin. If it's going to be an origin story one, then I will take back everything I said in terms of for that film. But it still stands. They sometimes they ruin it when they remake him. Um, but no, I appreciate if that's going to be an origin story. That might be quite interesting. I should change it to green. Or for the duplicates. I don't know. We'll see. Possibly. Uh, I've entered its redraw as Evil Nexum Dr. Virus. Awesome. I will double check if I've received that, and I will let you know, or I'll send you an email to let you know on that, Red Knight. That'd be quite cool. You just got an idea for a dragon. Awesome. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one with those. I kind of feel I want to just randomly place one of these ones like down here or something and just do something random. I kind of feel it's too much with all of them. Maybe just have three of them be quite cool. And then just yeah, put all this in a group. If I group them all together, I can move them around then. As one, I can oh, as long as I'm selecting the group, I can move the whole group as one to position it a bit better. Then add some form of background. But I think this is quite a cool effect for this one because it's kind of like the creation of them. Don't forget that in this concept, these aren't exactly complete duplicates as such. These are like hard like holograms, so they will kind of have that. But, oh, will that work? Um, I am just trying my glow effect that I know, which will hopefully. Oh, I quite like that effect. What do you guys think? Do you like that one or the other one that we had before? Like the other one or that one? Let me know if you like the blurry one, Matt. It really is the same next to them, but he is no longer his human emotion. Okay, so he's kind of like a darker version. If that's the case, then maybe he wears some of the Dr. Virus clothes. Legs removed from the after images. Maybe. Is that a big bad wolf behind me? No, because if he huffs and he puffs, that's a solid wall. Uh, I think we had the same idea there, Koi, with the Gaussian blur and that. I head off now. Let's also... No worries, Galahad 19. We'll see you next time. Mortal Kombat characters in the Xenomorphs. I do have Avengers of Xenomorphs coming out within the next 3, 4 weeks, maybe. That'd be quite cool. We will see what happens with that Red Knight. It depends if the characters are out of the mermaid dimension by that point. Um, but yeah, it'd be quite interesting. The new one, but change it to green color-wise. Right, hang on, let me just duplicate that. Turn that off. Add that. Flipping mask. So you mean turn it to oh, that's actually quite cool. Green like that. I think maybe it just has to be more slight hint of the green like that. And that's probably quite cool. I do want to take the opacity down a bit though, because if I have it too solid, I feel it's going to take away from the original. That's the only thing. Uh, Looks like she's going to do a teleport flash kick like Johnny Cage. Yep, possibly. Does Matt Pat have a story for you? Oh, I'll have to check that out later. Um, you might have to have a narrative for the cinema videos you'll get to, for the cinema videos you'll get to, right? I may need a narrator at some point. I've rewatched all the Alien, well, most of the Alien films in the last 24 hours, but I don't think it will be a bounty hunter narrator. I think it's going to be, if I have one, it will probably be a survival style one. So it'll be someone like kind of like the Ripley style, where they're not a bounty hunter, they're a normal civilian, and they're thrust into this entire world, and they just recap the horrors that happen as it goes to build the story up. But we'll see what happens on that one. Um, Even next will load his mind to the robotic body. Be interesting. So we've got this one. I then think if we've got this one, I'm going to duplicate this, take the bottom one, shift it along, and then I do still want to take the, I need to stagger them a bit. That's probably take the opacity down a bit more. Think that on. I feel one of these needs to be in front of this one. Why do I feel that this doesn't look quite right? But just because the opacity's been dropped now, it should be solid at that point. Maybe I need another clone of that one. Maybe if we clone that one, we line that back up with this one. And then what we do is we look at dropping that opacity slightly and then merge that down and then have I like that. That's a lot better. Um yeah, I think that one looks a lot better. What else have we got? The Evil Nexum from a Dimensions could be quite cool. Also, maybe not just Avengers, but maybe Marvel characters in general, like Wolverine, Spider-Man. Wolverine and Spider-Man are Avengers. Ronan the Accuser actually becomes an Avenger in one story multiverse at some point, I think, and Groot is also was that Guardian of the Galaxy? I think they work with the Avengers at that point, so it could be quite interesting. But yeah, Wolverine and Spider-Man have become Avengers in the storyline, so I can use them. However, I'm a bit concerned about an adamantium style symbiote or one that regenerates with its acid blood from almost any injury would be quite a troublesome one to deal with. Also, DC Cinema video with Green Lantern, Cinema Cyborg, they'll be on by it'll be quite interesting. I will be branching Cinemas into other genres and stuff, tying them all in this weird universe. But I think the Avengers of Cinemas one would be an interesting start to it all because starting Avengers of Cinemas, I could kill off some heroes to start with, like the world's mightiest ones, and make some really terrifying Cinemas. Um, that might not look too different, but they'll still be quite cool. Red Knight says, Dr. Virus, Evil Nexum, meet Nexum main. I can't believe that I want you back in the. I wish you back in the day, Evil Nexum is an old man. Maybe. I mean, I've got some ideas for where I'm going with the with each of them, which would be quite cool. We'll just see what happens with it all. I think that's going to be the key bit for the pose. And then this one can be slightly lowered in opacity just because it's behind, so it needs to look a little bit duller. Um, I do think they probably need to be staggered slightly, just to kind of give the impression for the trio. Oh yeah, that's part of the group, isn't it? So she needs to be staggered slightly so she's got a bit more focus on the design. Maybe change the angle slightly as well, so this one's kind of like going in different to the others in a sense. Should be quite cool. And then move them all and slight shrinking to just fit the frame a bit better. I've got to add a background to this yet, so this is going to be interesting. Uh, that's not a problem. Maureen, thank you for joining the stream. Um, and yeah, hopefully see you around on the next one. Ben says, actually, maybe Marvel Heroes has seen more with Marvel villains. You, Yaucha, DC Heroes has seen more DC villains. Yaucha. Possibly. I may even bring in a new species for that. Um, as much as I like the idea of the Predators, and everybody loves the Predators, I'm not sure I want to merge them into the Xenomorph universe just yet. I might want to keep them separate and then merge them in. Um, at some point because I'm not going down the bounty route. Because I'm not going down the route of a bounty hunter or an expert in the aliens. It will be very interesting to work on the building up the story, like the films did. Like having those two genres eventually meet each other will be quite cool. But you want to take away the hope of humanity with the aliens to almost the final degree with the superheroes gone from the Avengers version, and then bring in another species or something that would cause it to either go on a good span or completely chaotic. Quite cool. Um, and I have a feeling that my one will not get picked for this redraw video, but maybe it might get picked this time. You never know. I can't make any promises, and I will never make a promise on someone's redraw character being done. The only time that would ever happen is if they won a competition or it was a promise because of something that I messed up on my side with a previous submission. That was, you know, something that was really messed up or something outside our hands. Other than that, I would say it is everybody's got the same chance. So we'll just see what happens, really. Should be quite cool. Um, I wonder if you also met the other self. Might do. What do we do? Finish early? I haven't got that far yet. I'm about to start working on a background. So if we finish early, we finish early. Um, but currently I am happy to just start working through this for background and then try to background color. I kind of want to be want that, want that. Then I want background color to be that one. So I can then get rid of that layer, add a couple layers, and then turn that on, and we've got the background. So I don't think what kind of background do we want? Also maybe anime cinemas like Chainsaw Man back in cinemas. Did we? Oh no, we had them venomized on pop crosses, didn't we? We didn't have them as xenomorphs. Anime xenomorphs could be quite interesting. A xenomorph with Super Saiyan hair would be really funny to look at, to be honest. Just I might just draw that for the hell of it. Um, but yeah, that's not a bad idea, Ben. That could be quite an interesting spin-off for it. Minecraft says we've got 16 likes so far. So if you haven't yet, guys, smash the like button, please. It really helps. Yes, if you can, if you're enjoying the design or you just love art in general, or you want to just support the channel and you can't watch the whole stream or jump onto the stream for long, just smash the like button before you leave and leave the likes on because it does help. It massively helps. Um, push the well, just basically helps push the video out across YouTube, which is really good. Right, so what type of background do you want? I suppose we want a techie background. How's the best way to do this? Okay, textile background. So I'm going to want to have this. I'm going to look at my bell brushes to see if I've got anything useful. Uh, do we have anything like useful? Maybe pentagrams. Maybe I can get rid of using a pentagram in the background. I'm trying to find a brush that is kind of techie, but not kind of. You know what? Let's just go completely random on this. Uh, sorry, I'm doing sound effects now. So we've got this grid effect from it. Um, okay, we can have some fun with this. I want to alpha lock that, and I want to add some color to this because color's just fun to do. Painting new, big version. Woo. Maybe a dark green, maybe a light green. I suppose the background's going to need to get darker. So turn that green with that background pure black. Oh, out of layers. It's good job I don't need these ones then, isn't it? Alright, layers. What have we got? Yeah, but the Nightmare Xenomorphs could be chainsaw. The Doomsday, Doomsday Xenomorph would be really, really nightmarish. And a Wolverine one, as you said earlier, your Wolverine one's probably the scariest one there. Or Onslaught as a Xenomorph. Imagine a xenomorph that's come from Professor X with the ability to get into the minds of its victims. That would be terrifying. I like the idea of Nexum, the main somehow ended up in the evil Nexum dimension. A world has been destroyed and over some people. Possibly. Like an apocalyptic version. Quite cool. Oh, sorry. Do apologize, didn't mean to you all then. It's been a very manic week. Next week's even busier. Although I did watch a video that had a xenomorph called Newborn being half human, half xenomorph. That goofy. Yeah, Newborn is the one from Alien Resurrection, which was more humanoid and killed the xenomorph mother. But yeah, that was a creepy one. Alpha lock, okay, duplicate, and I want to Gaussian blur by 10. It's actually a really cool effect for glows. You do a Gaussian, you do three normal layers. The bottom ones or the second one's by 10 on the Gaussian blur. The next one's a lot more. You just whack it through the roof, and then you get your top layer, and you just change this add mode to a color dodge or an add, and you get this kind of glow effect. And then what you do is you just do the same with anything you're overlaying. So you just Gaussian blur it by say about 10. 10's kind of good. Gaussian blur that by a lot to get that going, and then you just drop the next bit in. I mean, this one might not work quite so well, but I'm doing this for a reason. It's called experimenting, which works really nicely when you add some elements to it. Oh, I like that. That looks quite cool. I do need to add a layer between and change the color. So a rule of thumb is anything that's further in the background, even if it's lighter, tends to go towards the blue in color. So you kind of want to make it, it's almost like a desaturation in the color. So that you want the color coming through, but I also want to make it so it's got a contrast of what's there in a sense. And again, Gaussian blurs are absolutely awesome to do stuff. And then the color mode changes that you can do on the layers. Just kind of got the glow there, which is quite cool to help it stand out. She's off center with the piece. That's the problem I've got. It doesn't look right because she's not centered. So let's try and center the character to here. Potentially move that one. Maybe I should do what Koi suggested. Uh, I wonder if they're going to introduce the reach in this movie or hint to it. Oh, that'd be interesting. Uh, Next week will be eventful for me. It's my 18th birthday and my birthday. Nice, Ben. Well, happy birthday for that. Hopefully you're having a really good time and an awesome time next week. That would be absolutely cool. Next week's a bit of a big week for me too. Not quite as special as the 18th, like an 18th birthday party, but yeah, next week is definitely going to be a bit of a special one. Oh, that's just giving me an awesome idea. Let's just have them all converge out of a point, and then just drop the opacity just slightly so you can tell it's not solid. And then what I need to do is kind of take these effects, yeah, and add them to the other ones slightly without. Oh, that'd be interesting. Let's try to do that next bit. Be quite interesting. Ditto Quantum Mania. Yeah, it does seem like that, Justin. Koi Fish, congratulations for being a member for 3 works, and you put 3 months. Keep up the fantastic artwork. Cheers. No, I will do. I appreciate that. I haven't got it set back up to have comments on, so I've not figured out where I want them on this layout yet. Uh, but yeah, no, I appreciate that, Koi. Thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. I think we're almost done. I just need to drop one more layer in, and this is kind of for that, that, that'll do. It will make sense in a minute. I kind of want to, I might need 2 layers for this. I just want to do that and then add the, I want to glow around this character, but I'm not sure how I'm going to. Oh, cool. You didn't have to. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. And congratulations, America. You've been gifted membership access, which is absolutely fantastic. You will have access to the members community tab, and I will redo the link for the artwork for the Google Drive. Um, America, be sure to thank Koi for that. And awesome. And I'll make sure that's on the back on there in the next 24 hours. The links to the new post for members only, because I know you can't get on the Discord, but you should then be able to access the Google Drive in a web browser and just save a copy of the artwork. One of the perks of being a member. So congrats. That's quite awesome. I want to kind of make this have a glow. How am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this glow effect. I don't want to do that, but I kind of want to also just to do this on this character. Yeah, normal. Maybe I do need one more layer. That's a clipping mask, and this happens if I drop white behind the character. Delete that. I've just completely destroyed my background. That's fine. Um, and, oh, because that's now outside of the group. That's why. I love having to try and move stuff within programs like this because it never actually works how you want it to all the time. It's always quite tricky to do stuff. Clipping mask, which is fine. That's the same image as the top. Merge that down, and then I just want to. It's really weird. I don't think I can do what I want to do. Okay, that's fine. I can't do what I want to do on this bit. That's not a problem. That's kind of got these effects, so it's quite cool. Um, I might have to figure it out later. But yeah, this is our Ditto character. I still feel there's something not quite. Well, that's quite cool. Sorry, this is the perk of experimenting. You kind of find new elements in here to have some fun with on the designs. Um, Put it back to plan. Uh, Also, America, that also means you've got all these lovely emojis that Koi's just put across the bottom on the chat. So you've got that circle emoji icon on the bottom of the chat. Be sure to click that and spam the emojis if you want. It's really cool. And I think we've just finished our Ditto version. I kind of feel I want to separate the color out a bit. Sorry, excuse me. Um, Maybe I just need to drop the color on that there and delete that one. Feels like there's something missing from this piece, something to just, I don't know, make the characters just pop. Do you know what I mean? It feels like there's just a, almost like I just need to do my own version around there, but does it need a thin version of that as well? Or... No, there's something missing, but I'll figure it out later. I think this is this piece done for now. This is probably the best we're going to get on this one, which I quite like how Ditto's turned out, the character, with the glitchy holographic versions, which is quite cool. Um, Actually, maybe that's what's the problem. Maybe because I've done that and I've done this, I just need to displace them a bit. So we've got a Just want the slightest hint of the colour. Not much, but if you see what I mean by this bit, the slightest hint of the colour, I've added this little element to it. I feel that kind of adds to the effect a bit more. Turn that one off. Chromatic aberration, effective again, and just lock that up. Not the transition and up the fall off. Just maybe that should be a bit more. I feel they've got a bit more feel to them now. It's really weird. It's really subtle. Um, Still feel I'm missing something down here, color-wise or something. I don't know. That just feels like something's not quite. In a way. What do you guys think? Is this kind of working or not? Oh, that's kind of got a nice effect to it. I think that's what's missing, a bit of color behind it to make it just pop. That's as holographic as you can get it. Yeah, pretty much. Is that a scene more star power behind you? That would be an interesting one too, because they're usually afraid of fire. That'd be quite an interesting one, Ben, actually. Yeah, Koi Fish is kind of getting the holographic effect in, but I kind of think it's now what I can do is I feel more comfortable taking all of these layers and then shifting them, scaling them up, making this like a giant illustration as such, which would be quite cool. So yeah, I think this is us done on this one. We've been going for about an hour and a half, which isn't too bad on this. Yeah, but I think that's going to be where we're going to have that. So if I save that as a JPEG, I can upload that later. Um, JPEG image. I always say free JPEGs out because I like to crop them afterwards. I'll show you what I mean. So what I like to do afterwards is I like to take the image. So I've got the original one here. Edit, crop, turn it to a square, and then fit the piece kind of in the square so it works. So we've got this nice ready for community posts of the square kind of like image, and then we'll go along and edit, crop it again, zoom into a bit that we want to do. So I want to do this bit, which is quite cool here, I think, potentially. Maybe I want to skew it a little bit. Done. And then I've got these like two images. So I've got this image and I've got a close-up of it for the posts. Works great. Um, which is quite cool. So yeah, I think that's our second one done. So we've got wow, look at the difference in style from when we did this one. So this one was done back in February. We did this one, and it took about 5 hours to do. And this one, obviously, was done July, and it took about 4.5 hours to do in total. So a little less time, but the results are completely different. I expect it's got less detail to go into some areas, but yeah, this is a Ditto as a female heroine, so that looks quite cool. Ben says you could turn Skylanders or Backromancies into Xenomorphs. Skylanders would probably be my preferred choice out of that. I still need to get together with the lore for Backroom entities, in all fairness. That's going to be the tricky one. But yeah, I think that's done. I think that's where we'll probably leave it there tonight. Just because it's an hour and a half, it's a decent amount of time. We finished the artwork. We're keeping the stream to what it's going to be, and unless anyone's got any kind of like questions to do with art or what's coming up next or anything, then I think it's a good place to call it a night, have it sorted, and I can update a few thumbnails and that, and we'll yeah, and then Monday we'll probably do another live stream. Because I won't have time to do Sea Creature Switcheroo unless I do Dinobots Venomized in two parts and do a part with three of them getting Venomized and a part with another three getting Venomized, which could be quite cool because Soundwave needs a new Venomized design. Yeah, man, a healthy stream. Great work, sir. Thank you, Koi. It's a nice stream, and the only green screen we had on this one is the one in the background, which is awesome. I figured out what's happening with those, I think, which is quite good. So I've got that sorted. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining the stream. Um, if you haven't, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. Consider becoming a member to get access to all this artwork from the community posts. And yeah, I will catch you next time. See you later, guys.